Hey everybody, Dr. Steph, and I am back with another video talking about diabetes reversal and all of the different things that we find clinically can contribute to and cause sugars to be high and ultimately your diabetes to keep getting worse over time. And so these are the things that we have to address in our clinic as far as testing, try to figure out what's underneath the hood for each patient so that we can create a proper protocol for each person that is really individualized for them, that handles the actual issues, that helps them reverse their diabetes and eventually are able to reduce and eliminate their medications. What I want to do today is talk to you about the different testing that we do in order to handle a lot of these things, because this just looks like a big mess of a ton of stuff. It can be very overwhelming if you're just sort of looking into this for the first time. So we do functional testing. We don't just test for hemoglobin A1C and blood sugar. We don't just test for cholesterol levels. That's pretty much what your standard medical testing is, but that's just what you're being medicated for. That is not what's really being dug down deeper so that we can figure out what to address to help you reverse and eliminate the diabetes. So each of these different tests in some ways addresses these other things that we talked about in all of our previous videos. So blood testing, we do blood testing. We will check and monitor your hemoglobin A1C, obviously, because we want to know when it's coming down. But we're going to be doing specialized testing for vitamin and mineral deficiency, organ and gland function. So remember we talked about thyroid, liver. We're doing more than just what's being tested for. Pancreas function, are you secreting enough insulin? Are you attacking your pancreas? Things like that. We can do blood tests to determine if you have the likelihood of an infection, or we can test for certain types of infections, whether we're talking about viral or Lyme disease or co-infections or bacterial infections or whatever. We can assess hormones through blood. And then, of course, food intolerances. So we do a lot of food intolerance testing. Are you attacking almonds? Are you attacking broccoli? Are you attacking oatmeal? Things like that. And is that causing your inflammation to go up? And is that inflammation ultimately caused by these food reactions leading to your sugars being high? Leaky gut markers can also be assessed for. So as far as gut health, we can do that through blood testing. So certain things should not be getting across the gut barrier. If they are measured in blood, that's a sign that your gut is leaky, and so that might have to be addressed. We do very functional urine testing. Now most people are used to going to the lab and giving urine, and they're going to do counts for, is there blood in the urine, is there protein in the urine, is there sugar in the urine, is there white blood cells in the urine. That's very basic stuff. We do much more comprehensive urine testing. We're looking for actual signs of infections, certain bacterial infections, yeast and fungal infections. Those can show up in urine testing. Toxins, so we can do a whole suite of toxicity testing through your urine. If you have certain chemicals coming out through your urine, like signs of glyphosate, which is herbicides and pesticides and environmental chemicals and mold toxins and infection chemicals, toxins left behind because of infections. If those things are in the system, they can be contributing to your elevated sugars. We will do testing for that. We can also assess nutrient deficiencies from your urine, as well as mitochondrial deficiency or mitochondrial dysfunction. We talked about how important mitochondria is at the cellular level, because ultimately it's the mitochondria that's using your glucose, fat, and protein as fuel to make energy. So we're actually able to determine if those little guys are under a lot of stress, and if they are, then we can determine what we need to give you or have you do in order to promote healthy mitochondrial function and get that back on track. Saliva testing, we do testing for saliva. Remember, we want to measure your cortisol levels. That's the adrenal gland dysfunction. We can assess that best with saliva testing, and we actually prefer to do some of our hormone testing, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, via saliva test as well. And then if all else fails, we have stool testing in order to really see if you have some type of parasite, if that's a likelihood of having an issue with that, as well as balances in your gut bacteria as well. So that's a lot of comprehensive testing and functional testing that we have at our fingertips to assess some of those common things that we find are problematic causes for type 2 diabetes that allows us to create individualized treatment protocols for each person depending on what they test for and what is positive. So again, these are the things you want to start asking around. Functional doctor, does your doctor do some of these testing? These are the types of people that you want to work with in your home state in order to be able to get on track to getting healthy and reversing this disease and possibly eliminating your medications. I hope you found that helpful, and stay tuned for more of our videos.